Hello guys and welcome to SteveKnows. Today we're going to talk about new headsets, new Quest features and the potential for a Quest store to be on non-Oculus devices. So as usual there's so much to go over here, so that is enough chin wagging. Let's get started. So let's kick this weekend off with the ViveCon news. We're already expecting a headset to be announced at ViveCon. In fact, multiple headsets to be announced, likely a consumer device and an enterprise unit. So we've had teasers for a while now from Vive, and starting off with their trackers and their face tracker last month, and then some GIFs have been popping up outlining the new design of the expected headset, which looks like it could be a very smexy machine. The latest reports from Protocol, though, are stating that they have found mention of two new headsets in company documentation, and these headsets were briefly listed on an online store called Alzashop. So the first of these headsets is the Vive Focus 3. This is a standalone device and it's been marketed as an enterprise headset. I am curious to see what they're going to upgrade on this device, because enterprise don't have the same needs as the consumer, the same demands, yet the previous model, the one that this is going to take over, already has an XR2 chip. So I'm curious to see what the upgrades are going to be on that device. And this was expected to be around $1,700 to $1,800. So a pricey unit. So this next headset relates to us a bit more and I think is a little bit more exciting, and that is the potential for a Vive Pro 2, which is great. They haven't gone the Cosmos route, that name has been tated, and the Pro is one of Vive's most loved headsets, and I believe the base model has already been discontinued. So I feel this is quite likely, as the latest releases of their accessories, the tracker and the facial tracker, is supported by the Pro series, which at the time was an older device, so it was rather strange to me that they were releasing new tech for an older device. So this is kind of matching up, and this was expected to be, based on the shop posting, around $1,000. So ViveCon's not long away. I'm really excited to see what they're going to drop. Is it going to be a standalone device or a high-spec PCVR device? Or this hybrid? I do not know. So please let me know what you want to see in the headset, as these devices are supposed to be releasing at the end of this month. So tune into ViveCon, see what headsets are going to drop. If it's these, fingers crossed. I'm actually kind of happy for a Vive Pro 2. If it's a high-spec PCVR headset, I'm still going to be happy. And if it is a standalone that is at least as good as the Quest, I'm going to be happy too. So exciting times. Next, let's talk about Android applications on the Oculus Quest. I found this one very interesting, and the reasons for that I will come on to in a second, as it wasn't really that expected. And annoyingly, the time of making this video, I don't have these apps in my preview section, so thankfully, a friend Mystical has already gone and done the legwork here and captured images and shown us that this exists. So he tweeted out that there was the discovery of Android applications in the preview app section of the store. So there were apps there such as Zoom, TikTok, Spotify, OneNote, Snapchat, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Lightroom, which was quite interesting to have those kind of apps on the App Store. Usually these kinds of applications as well, we're sideloading onto the Oculus Quest, and sometimes again they don't always work, because the compatibility between sideloading an app and it running on the Quest OS just isn't there. So this is welcome, but what happened here? Was this an error? Was this an updating mistake on the back end? Are these apps actually going to be coming to the store? The ability to use Photoshop on your screenshots before you upload them, that's a pretty cool idea. Can you make virtual reality videos and upload them straight to TikTok? That would also be an incredible feature. But I'm conflicted in what's going on here. What I know and what I've seen, they're having a fight, they're having an argument. Because Oculus, they said they wanted to make their own operating system, move away from Android a while back. So would Android apps still fit into their ecosystem, into that future vision? Carmack also said that he was losing the debate with Oculus to bring these applications to the Quest, but maybe they listened to Carmack, because Carmack is always right. It would also help with pushing the device to the masses again, showing that this isn't just a virtual reality headset, it's an office, it's a productivity tool, it's a social piece, just like your mobile phone, but with incredible immersive capabilities, helping the consumer understand the device and where it fits into their life. So I am all for having Android apps on the Oculus Quest. I'm just interested in how deep they're going to take this. As I was talking previously, the compatibility with the Oculus features, using these applications for video editing, video uploading, perhaps Spotify playing in the background whilst playing video games, that sort of thing. I'm not sure, but let me know your thoughts down below. This is a pretty interesting topic. And actually, are these applications going to be at the mercy of the Oculus store as well? Are they going to have to pay a cut of their revenue to Oculus because of this? I'm betting they do. Maybe that's why they're doing it. So a new patent has been revealed from Huawei, who have done virtual reality products before, but they were a bit lackluster. The VR goggles that operate in 3DOF, and they have a single remote control like the Oculus Go did, which now, this modern day and age, just doesn't cut a virtual reality experience. So this new patent, it looks like an Oculus Quest controller. It has LEDs in the ring around the controller for optical tracking and 6DOF. Some reports made a rather good point on this as well, that since the US sanctioned their mobile phones at the smartphone sales of the US, they're going to need to wait to claw some money back, and the virtual reality market is fast growing, it's new, it's niche, it could be a chance for them to grab a small slice of that market. But this is just a patent, it could mean nothing, and I'm not sure how many people would be interested in a virtual reality device from Huawei after everything that's gone on. We shall see at their conference what they're going to provide, because that's still to come. Now, a new battery pack slash counterweight from Rebuff Reality that claims to extend your Quest's battery life way beyond the previous model and way beyond the Elite battery strap. So they're saying they can add 8 to 10 hours to your Oculus Quest, which is more than enough time for a solid game session, because at the moment, one game of DeMeo and the headset is done for. So this new battery is $70 and it is a 10,000 milliamp battery. It can be strapped to the Oculus Quest as well if you're using the Elite battery strap, or the Elite strap, so you don't have to worry there if you're interested in this battery. And I wonder if the Elite battery strap, you can kind of create this centipede chain of battery charge, so you can end up having around like 16 or 14 hours of gameplay time. Curious. And I know, of course, you can get 10,000 milliamp batteries that are much cheaper, but some don't charge the Quest, some will look like a massive brick on the back of the headset. You also need some homemade attachment to keep it all as one unit, and it doesn't really look as nice. And the extended battery life, for those of you that are the 120 Hz junkies and just love playing at that high refresh rate, this extended battery could be an absolute godsend. And speaking of 120 Hz, one of virtual reality's greatest newcomer games, a classic, Superhot VR just got an update for the Oculus Quest. It now supports 120 Hz, which is a great reason to get in and play this game again, especially if you've not played it since it was 72 Hz on the Quest 1. So this was announced on Twitter when the Superhot Twitter account tweeted, "Hey Superhot players, we have added 120 Hz experimental support, so this is a beta feature. If you run into problems, just disable the 120 Hz via the game settings." So this is a game where you can speed up and slow down time with your movement, and adding 120 Hz support for that to make it a really buttery experience, I think it's going to look absolutely fantastic. So a great reason to dive in again. Now we have Season 2 of Population 1 that is incoming this month, and it's taking on a new style that is similar to what Cloudhead Games are doing, or they're trying to do with Pistol Whip, as they're going to be moving the game to the frontier. So they're going to be turning back to the clock to a Western era. This is going to be releasing on May 13th, which strangely enough is the release of another big game, Zero Caliber, which I have been lucky enough to try the game early. So if you want to check it out, the video is in my channel, just feel free to go check that out if you wish to. But Big Box, they always seem to line up their releases, their big updates, when other big games are dropping. I don't know if it's just a pure coincidence, but it's happened a lot. So anyway, in Season 2, you're going to have new cosmetics, and the game is now also going to support dual wielding. And there is a new add-on to the map as well, which is styled like an old Western movie. Wooden cladded huts, cacti dotted around, sandy environments. Definitely a cool change that will make me want to dive into the game again. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, now, yes, this one's great. So a new game that kind of took me by surprise, because it was from the developer of Farpoint, which was a PlayStation VR exclusive title, and I was expecting them to release another Farpoint, because Farpoint was a great game, but instead they've dropped something out of the blue called Larcenauts. This is a PvP shooter that has this Overwatch virtual reality vibe, as it's a class-based multiplayer shooter with a bright animated style. So at launch, there's going to be 8 characters and classes for you to choose from. There's going to be a hunter, an infiltrator, a medic, a guardian, an engineer, a commando, and a brawler. All of these are going to have different special abilities, such as teleportation dashes if you're going to be the infiltrator. And of course, there are going to be custom loadouts and character skins as well, so you can have your own personal style for each of the characters, your own different weaponry, depending on how you want to play the game. Adds a nice personal touch online. By the looks of the trailers, I do expect this game to give Hyperdash some competition. It has game modes such as Capture the Flag, where you hack a drone, holding down an area of the map, Team Deathmatch, all to be played across 4 maps at launch. And the icing on the cake for me is this game is going to be cross-platform and cross-buy Oculus and Steam, so avoiding the multiplayer curse, which is actually kind of slowly going away. More people are playing virtual reality these days, and you can often find a game. It's officially happened. Stride is officially coming to the Oculus Quest, and you may have known that the developers wanted, Huawei, they wanted to bring this game to the Quest, but it's official. They tweeted out saying Oculus have accepted their concept pitch, but lots of work is still needed to bring the game up to the standard for release. So you can sign up to betas if you want to be part of the beta channels, and you can try it early. So I'll leave a link to that sign up down below. Stride on PC is going to have a campaign, but on Quest, they're trying to swap out that campaign because hardware restrictions aren't allowing it to be there and create a multiplayer experience instead. So this is already being coined the mirror's edge of virtual reality due to its free running and its weaponry. And I just love the physical movements in it. You have to actually vault over things, jump off walls, move your arms to sprint, and it can be quite the workout. And if you haven't heard of this game and you're interested in it, I do have a full video of the game available on the channel as well for you to check out. And the next one, if you have been following the channel for a while, you may have seen that I did a Your VR motion simulator video where I tried out this small home motion sim in virtual reality, and it was just such a crazy experience. But the design was flawed. But it seems like the folks at they've been really thinking about the next iteration, taking on the feedback, and now this Your 2.0 seriously looks phenomenal. So they posted this chair on Kickstarter and they hit $1 million in funding in just a week, and I'm not even surprised. This new chair has a modular build unlike the previous model, which helps keep the base cost low, and people can upgrade at a later date. So the lowest price point at the moment is around $1,000, which is $500 less for the previous base model, and this chair is way better. It looks like a chair from the future now, a stunning sculpture that you have in your room to immerse you in racing games, flying games, and you can even use it as a desk or to relax just by tilting it back and using the platform in front of you to rest your laptop on. I do have a chance to try this chair out as well for you guys, so a prototype is going to be around here before the chair is actually released. The Your folks are doing a little tour, and I'm lucky enough to be on that list, so please stick around. I'll show this chair off to you guys. I'm so excited. I think it looks epic. Monkey, put the kettle on. Gorilla Tag has a much needed update, and I'm sure many of you are really happy to hear this because it was needed. You now have the ability to mute people. Too many times you go into a public room and you have like screaming crazy kids, and sometimes you just need to bring that down, as the most requested feature has finally been implemented. So LemmingVR tweeted out that version 1.0.6 have added more server regions, a new banana hat, and also a higher refresh rate as well, which means G-Tag can now hit 120Hz. So feel free to play this game. It's free on SideQuest, and you can now mute everyone and enjoy that refresh rate. Another crazy one, actually. This month's Steam VR stats are just something to behold. Again, that gap that Oculus is making with its competitors in the virtual reality space just keeps on growing, keeps on getting larger. And according to the hardware survey on Steam, 3 out of 5 headsets connected to Steam last month are Oculus devices, with 27.5% being Quest 2s, a standalone device that is the most used PC VR device. The Rift S is at 20%, and the original Rift and Quest make up roughly around 12%. There's some pretty crazy numbers. Maybe Vive's new announcement can nudge that scale, although the price point, I'm sure, is a huge factor in people buying an Oculus device over some of the competitors. And the competitors, they can't compete with that. They can't compete with those incredibly low costs. That's just something Facebook can do, because not only do they have the Oculus platform where they're making loads in software sales, they have an entire business behind it that can absorb the costs of selling those headsets at base. And finally, just in, this one actually kind of gets me excited. I really hope it happens. Andrew Bosworth said something interesting, which may be possible if more apps are developed using the OpenXR standard, which would mean these games and applications could play on all devices that are adhering to that with pretty much minimal porting. It should just run on any device that's using it. Once again, Bosworth is throwing info at us during an AMA, and he was asked if he liked the idea of allowing the Quest Oculus App Store on other devices. So if Vive release a standalone device, would they be open to supporting a Quest store on that device? And he responded rather shockingly, I don't have a fundamental issue with that idea. I think certainly we'd love to have more outlets for our developers to make money on their content, which of course in turn makes Facebook money on their content. But right now, there's just not really a headset to do it with. And I think it's just not been an option for that reason. Just for that reason. And with the up and coming hype of standalone devices and hopefully the release of Vive's device, fingers crossed that this actually could be a possibility. Maybe in the future we can see an Oculus App Store on these other platforms. Because as I said, if the game is adhering to the OpenXR standard, it can be played on different devices, out of the box, theoretically. And since Facebook are also clearly making money on the software sales and not so much on the Quest hardware, which is why that device is so cheap, it would allow them not only to get more data, because you'd need a Facebook account to use that store from their consumers, it would also mean that they would have increased software sales, so potentially more money as well. It just depends the direction that they want to go in, because at the moment they're a monopoly. Maybe they don't fear the fact that they can put their store on another device because they're just dominating this space at the moment. Please let me know your thoughts. This is a very controversial topic, of course. Could Oculus become the new Steam but for virtual reality? Please let me know down below. So that's it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching to the end of the video, getting caught up on the latest and greatest in the virtual reality space. Please subscribe for next time. Just a click of a button means the world to me. So happy gaming, guys. Good day.